Hey, this is C&D channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my predictions for Bellator 116, Johnson versus Ivanov, which happens on April 11th. Overall, it doesn't have the title fight that I'm used to with Bellator cards, but I do like this card. You do have some prospects in here. Brandon Halsey, keep an eye out for him. Carlos Eduardo. Philipe Lins, Adam McDonough. So Volkov's fighting, Ivanov's fighting, Johnson's fighting, Mighty Mo's fighting. Retirement fight for Matyushenko. So while it doesn't have the title fight I'd like, and not the biggest drawing main event, it looks like there is a recipe for violence here. That's for sure. Okay, let's get started. Okay, in the main event, we have Lavar Johnson versus Blagoi Ivanov. Well, Ivanov has an undefeated 10-0 record with 1 no contest. I believe the ring broke against Ilir Latifi. That's why he has a 1 no contest. 4 wins are by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He's only 27 years old. This is a part of the heavyweight tournament semifinal. He has a sambo background. He's good in the clinch. His stand-up's actually sloppy, very typical sambo. Sloppy but effective. You see it with like Khabib Nurmagomedov and some of these other guys, sambo practitioners getting into MMA. They don't have the best technique, but they tend to be pretty accurate. A lot of times, saw it against like Rich Hale. He's got a good chin too. His cardio though is a bit questionable. Lavar Johnson, 18-8 record, 16 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. I think they're sub by strikes though. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO and 5 losses by sub. He's 36 years old. Heavy hands, man. When this guy touches you, you get put to sleep. He has 1-punch knockout power, most recently knocking out Ryan Martinez. In a fight, he was losing for a while. He got taken down, got ground and pounded, got up, and just started to go after Ryan Martinez. Knocked him out. He's got some good boxing. His jab is good. He has really good uppercuts. His ground game is pretty weak though, especially on his back. His takedown defense actually isn't too bad. Still, his grappling is not his strongest point, and his cardio isn't the best either. This one's hard to pick. It's because with Johnson, I said it in the prediction against Ryan Martinez. I thought Martinez would win, but Johnson has fight-ending power. And it showed. That's exactly what happened. Like, Martinez, I felt, was winning the round, but Lavar ended up getting the knockout. Nonetheless, he has that fight-changing power. I can see Ivanov possibly taking it to the ground. Stand-up's not bad, but man, he doesn't want to get into brawls with Lavar Johnson. I think I'm going to go with Ivanov. He's just a little more well-rounded, younger, more well-rounded. He's got a good chin. I don't know if that's going to help against Lavar Johnson, though. He does get hit, so defensively, I worry about Ivanov here, because he does get hit clean a good amount of times. Nonetheless, I just think Ivanov's just a little more well-rounded. Might be able to take the fight to the floor when necessary. I'll go with Blagoi Ivanov to win that one. Next fight after that, Siala-Mou Siliga fights Alexander Volkov. Well, Mighty Mo has a 6-2 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. He's 43 years old on a 3-fight win streak. He has strong kickboxing, and his grappling is actually improving. His takedown ability is getting better, and his last 2 fights have are wins by submission. Actually, most recently submitting Peter Graham. Alexander Volkov, 20-4 record, 15 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 2 losses by submission. He's 25 years old, training at Rust Fighters, along the likes of Alexander Shlemenko and Kurskov. I think Chernovsky trains there as well. I'm not too sure. He has good kickboxing. He's really accurate. I think he has a karate style, actually, or karate background. So he's really accurate. He moves well for his size. One of his problems, though, is the few times I've seen him off his back, he looked kind of weak off his back. Minikov put him on his back, and so did Queiroz. Queiroz actually took him down pretty easily. And when he did take him down, Volkov didn't really show much off his back. So I can actually see Mighty Mo possibly taking the fight to the ground here. In the stand-up, it should be interesting. Volkov, he's more of a volume and combination puncher. He's not really a one-punch knockout guy, despite knocking out Halada in his last fight. But he's much younger than Mighty Mo. And while Mighty Mo has been working on his grappling, I think he'd still have a hard time taking Volkov down. I am going to go with Alexander Volkov to win this one. I think he just moves really well. I can see him outlasting Mighty Mo. I don't know if he can outstrike him, per se. So it's really hard to say, but I'll go with Volkov to win that one. Okay, next fight with that. This one's hard for me to call. It's Nathan Coy fights Adam McDonough. This is part of welterweight tournament semifinal. Adam McDonough has a 10-0 undefeated record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 3 wins by sub. He's 28 years old. He's got some good stand-up, some really good kicks. And in his last fight against, I forgot who he fought, he showed some really improved grappling. Actually, the fight went to the floor a lot of times. Nathan Coy, 14-4 record, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He's 35 years old on a 6-fight win streak, training out of ATT. He's a strong wrestler. He has good top control. He's really good in the clinch as well. He wants like the Tyron Woodley, and he can fight against Tyron Woodley back in Strikeforce. And this guy was like pinning him up against the cage, throwing dirty boxing. He's really relentless about getting takedowns as well. Watch like the Diego Lima fight, for example, in MFC. Took him down, ground and pound, road top control, just relentless about getting those takedowns. In his last fight against Paul Bradley, he showed a pretty good stand-up game, actually. Was getting some clean power shots on him. This one's really hard for me to call because, like I said, Nathan Coy, if he wants to grind, he can grind. Stand-up's serviceable as well. He's always a guy that, he's always been one of the most like solid mid-level guys I've ever seen in the regional circuit. McDonough, though, I mean, he's younger. His grappling and wrestling is improving. He's undefeated. I'm gonna go with the young gun here, to win this one. But this is a very stern test for Adam McDonough. Next fight after that, Joey Beltran fights Vladimir Matyushenko. Well, Joey Beltran has a 14-10 record with 1 no contest, 11 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. He's 32 years old on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Fabio Maldonado and then to Rampage. He trains out of Alliance. He does have a strong chin, despite the 2 guys that knocked him out were Lavar Johnson at heavyweight and Rampage, so 2 heavy-hitting guys. He's shown to be very durable and have a good chin. Nonetheless, he has a brawling style fighting with really high output. His defense is not very good, but he has shown a very good dirty boxing game. He likes to get guys against the cage and just start going, start throwing. His wrestling actually isn't that bad either. Matyushenko, it's his retirement fight. He has a 27-7 record. 9 wins by KO or TKO, 7 wins by sub. He also has 4 losses by KO or TKO. He's 43 years old. He is a grinder. If he wants to just grind against you, he'll do that. He did that against Houston Alexander and many other opponents. He's a good wrestler. He's got a strong clinch. Got really good top control. He is a veteran. I mean, he's fought for a UFC title before. Fought the UFC a couple times. Fought all over the world, really. Striking is actually improving. His chin, though, I don't think it's there these days. Considering that 4 of his 7 losses are by KO or TKO. Regardless, I'm going to go with Matyushenko to win this one. I don't know how much weight the retirement is. When you're thinking retirement, who knows? I mean, he's always come off as a consummate professional, though. But something like that weighs on your mind. I don't know if it can hold you back mentally or not. Nonetheless, I think Matyushenko, even in the striking department, should be able to do well. If he wants to take it to the floor or get the clinch, he can do that as well. I got Matyushenko to win that one. Okay, on the prelims, which will be on Spike.com. You have Rob Emerson versus Joe Taimanglo. I'll admit that this one's going to be a bit of a more personal pick for me. Rob Emerson has a 15-10 record with 1 no contest, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He's 32 years old on a 4-fight win streak, training out of Timoyama. He has good stand-up, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. He's very experienced. Joe Taimanglo, 19-5 record with 1 draw, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 11 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO, 2 losses by sub. 29 years old. He's got some good wrestling, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, average stand-up. Here's the thing with Emerson. Besides being a part of a gang in Orange County called the Lords, he most recently had an interview in MMA Junkie, blamed Ian McCall indirectly causing Shane Del Rosario's death. I thought that was pretty low of a person to do. And because of that, I'm picking against Rob Emerson here. I really want Joe Taimanglo to win this one. I don't know if I'd pick him regardless of whether he said that or not. I mean, he is on a 4-fight win streak and he is a good fighter. I think he can beat the Joe Taimanglos of the world. Nonetheless, I'll go Joe Taimanglo to win this one. More of a personal pick, though. Saying something like that, I just, whether he feels that way or not, I know it's his opinion, but to put that out into the public, pretty low, in my opinion. Next fight is that Karo Parisyan fights Ron Keslar. Karo Parisyan has a 22-10 record with 1 no contest, 12 wins by submission, 10 wins by decision. He also has 5 losses by KO or TKO. He's 31 years old. Strong judo skills, really good top control. Stand-up's a bit average. He's had a lot of mental issues as of late. For a while now, actually. I always liked Parisyan, but I know he had problems with like painkillers and whatnot. And his chin has slowly but surely been deteriorating. Ron Keslar, 11-5 record, 1 win by TKO, 5 wins by sub. He also has 2 losses by KO or TKO. He's 33 years old, training out of AKA. He's a good wrestler, really good back control. You can even see in the Rick Hahn fights. I think he mounted him and took his back. Took War Machine's back and choked him out. Fought a Brazilian, I forgot his name. Won with superior back control. So he's really good at taking the back. Stand-up's average at best. He did get knocked out by Rick Hahn. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination. I think there's just too much going against Karo Parisyan here. Mentally, I don't know if he really has it physically these days. I had to go with Ron Keslar to win this one. Next was that Brandon Halsey fights Joe Pacheco, and this will be a part of the middleweight tournament semifinal, as the Dan Kramer versus Jimmy Kimball fight was called off because Kimball was overweight. That was on another card, and this was bumped up as a tournament fight now. Brandon Halsey, 5-0 undefeated record. 1 win by TKO, 2 wins by sub. He trains out of HB Ultimate. Another guy who trains out there that's notable would be, I think Rob McCullough trains there, but also I believe Michael Bisping trains there as well these days. He's a strong wrestler. I mean, he's got a lot of those accolades. Got some good ground and pound skills as well. He's actually one of the better prospects that Bellator has. Joe Pacheco, good prospect himself. 7-1 record, 1 win by KO, 4 wins by sub. He's 29 years old. He's a good wrestler with solid Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Most recently lost Brendan Ward by guillotine. But otherwise, he's not a bad prospect in his own right. I really like this fight, but I gotta go with Brandon Halsey to win this one with this. I think he'll win with his superior wrestling and just overall, yeah, his superior wrestling. So I gotta go with Halsey to win this one. Next fight, that Travis Clark fights Luis Philippe Lins. Travis Clark has a 7-2 record, 5 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. He's 34 years old, training out of Evolve MMA. I believe that's in Singapore. Luis Lins, 7-0 undefeated record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 1 win by sub. Trains out of Nova União Kimura. Other guys that train out of the Kimura side would be Honey Marks, among others too. I'll go with Luis Philippe Lins to win this one. Next fight after that, Brandon Bender fights Mario Navarro. Navarro has a 4-3 record, 1 win by TKO, 3 wins by sub. He is a finisher with good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. Brandon Bender, 11-1 record, 10 wins by submission, 1 win by decision. He's also got good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, really good chokes. I'll go with Brandon Bender to win that one. Okay, next fight that, Keith Berry fights Dave Vitkay. Dave Vitkay has a 13-12 record with 1 draw, 3 wins by KO or TKO, 9 wins by sub. He also has 8 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Keith Berry, 15-12 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 4 wins by sub. He also has 8 losses by KO or TKO and 2 losses by sub. He's only 26 years old. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, training out of Rain. He's got some good stand-up, some really heavy hands. I forgot who he fought last. I think it was like Cortez Coleman. He had a really nice brawl with him. No. Actually, that was a while back. His defense isn't that great. I'll go with Keith Berry, though, to win this one. And finally, Carlos Eduardo fights Virgil Zwicker. Zwicker has a 12-3 record, 9 wins by KO or TKO, 2 wins by sub. He's 31 years old, on a 2-fight win streak, training out of Team Quest. This guy is a strong chin. If you ever watched the Guto Innocente fight in Strikeforce, the guy was just eating knees and punches, like clean ones. And he kept pushing forward. He's super resilient, kind of a brawler. Carlos Eduardo, 11-2 record, 4 wins by KO or TKO, 5 wins by sub. He's 32 years old, on a 9-fight win streak, training out of Nova União Dragon Fight. Same with another guy that trains out of both would be Kyle Magalash in the UFC. I'll go with Carlos Eduardo to win this one. Okay, to recap on the main card, I have Blagoi Ivanov over Lavar Johnson, Alexander Volkov over McDonough Siliga, Adam McDonough over Nathan Coy, and Vladimir Matyushenko beating Joey Beltran. On the prelims, Joe Taimanglo over Rob Emerson, Ron Keslar over Karo Parisyan, Brandon Halsey beating Joe Pacheco, Luis Philippe Lins over Travis Clark, Brandon Bender beating Mario Navarro, Keith Berry over Dave Vitkay, and Carlos Eduardo over Virgil Zwicker. So that's it for my predictions for Bellator 116. If If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.